everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada, this seventh day of the second condition, today being Tuesday the 30th of March or the 18th day of February in the 9th year of Chongokuk. So let's offer a bow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Shuriot, Kambay, Paro. And we'll recite our family pledge in both Korean and English. Thank you.
가족맨세 7. 전위국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심전 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 7. Our family, the owner of Chongoguk, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on the culture of home, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. And I'd like to ask, I see the Holden family there, I'd like to ask Peter Holden if you offer the opening prayer. Yeah, need to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Parents, beloved true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, thank you for this beautiful day today that we can join together with the Central families for the Hundoke this morning with our leaders and brothers and sisters. We're very grateful, Father, for this opportunity to grow our spirit and develop our heart of love towards you and towards each other, and to really embrace this world. Heavenly Parent, please guide us today as we listen to the words of Reverend Yamada, and pray that we can really deeply understand and inherit these words as part of our spiritual and physical life. We're very grateful and pray that you bless this time together. I pray all, report all these things in our blessing for family name.
Thank you. So let's welcome Reverend Yamada as he shares Hundok with us. Let's give him a good look.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's Oceania Hundoke. So each single moment is going, and every day, one day, and one day, and one day, and almost now is the end of March. So time is really so fast. How we can create today itself, and how we can create 1 week, how we can create 1 month. So each moment is going under our Heavenly Parents and True Parents guidance. So we put our heart and offer Chonson and connect with our Heavenly Parents and True Parents heart. So thank you for joining today. So yesterday we share about 3-year course right before the holy wedding, and also several persons yesterday really you share the great testimony about your early missionary time. Really, I'm appreciate and grateful your sharing and your testimony, your investment. So when True Parents started the unification movement in Korea, 1954, how True Father started and how he invested in order to save the nation of Korea and to save the world. So during that time, he sent the many missionaries to over the nation of Korea, and also sent a missionary to Japan and USA and another place. So as the missionary to Japan, he sent the missionary Che Bon-chun, and for USA, he sent Kim Yong-un and Kim San-chul. So they are the first missionary for those countries. So in the beginning, there is nothing, there is challenging and the difficulty or many kind of trial. But they went to the country and they started and they made the foundation. So we can remind that. And also yesterday, Reverend Ito shared his first missionary time period and also the father's message to all missionaries that time in 1975. Instead of testimony of how many people you restore, you have to testify how you restore one person, how you love one person, how you invest for one person, how you guide and love for that person. This is important and precious things. In order to save the person, in order to save the nation, those heart and those investment was there. That's why currently all nations were developed and connected with our true parents. Japan, USA, Europe, Africa, any kind of nation is same. And how about our Oceania nations? Australia. There was first missionary in Australia, right? Who is the first missionary in Australia?
Carl Redmond. Oh, Alexa Blonner originally, and then Carl Redmond. And
Okay.
Christy Jensen.
Krista
Yeah.
Jensen,
Which year is that? Which year was that?
73.
83?
73.
73.
Alexa Blonder was like 66,
Blonder.
something like that.
Oh, 66 is very early time.
No, actually 69 was Alexa Blonner, not 66. Yeah.
Yeah, so around that time period, 66, 69, 73. So there is first missionary for Australia itself also. How is the New Zealand? Which years?
73.
73?
Is that right, Kita?
Ah, yes. So there was also first missionary in New Zealand. How about island nation? Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomon Island. There was also first missionary in each nation, right?
Yeah, probably.
Solomon Island 84, I think.
84.
Susan.
No, there were other missionaries from
Yeah,
German and Japan before the island
Solomon
members.
Islands 84.
84, Solomon 84, and Samoa, and also anyway 14 nations in Oceania. And I think some of you is maybe also first missionary in those countries.
Ichikawa was one of the missionaries to Tonga, one of the original ones.
I see.
Before the local members became missionaries, there were missionaries from Japan and Germany.
Katsumi Date.
Katsumi
came to
is
Australia.
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Nauru, Mr. Date. Nauru.
Yes, yes.
1975.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came to.
But he was kicked out. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Immediately
lived in
after.
Canberra.
I see.
And Eleanor was the German sister to Tonga, and there was a German sister to Fiji.
Elizabeth Heel, is it?
Another one, she's in America now. I met her in Chongpyong recently. Yeah.
That's great.
Elizabeth,
Yeah. So when we see the history of even each nation, there was really the first missionary. And behind of that, our true father, true mother, really put the heart and wish them, please save this nation and this person because of their sacrificial offering and chansong. That's why we are here, we are witness, we are connected finally with true parents. Maybe some of you from USA, England, or several places, but there is a starting motivation, starting chansong, and the starting heart. This all heart is same. Please, let's save the people. Let's save the nation. So when we see our nation now, how about those spirit and those chansong and investment? Is that still remaining with us, remaining with our nation now? We have to see again this first missionaries' love and heart, and also behind of that, how true parents offer the heart and also chansong and put the investment there. Like to Father put the chansong to Chebonjun, first missionary, Kim Yong-un, Kim San-chol, first missionary in US, and each nation also the same situation. That's why when I listen yesterday's, when I read and listen yesterday's contents and also you are sharing, also I repent myself and I reflect myself. We are doing here as the missionary and the public mission and also the movement. What kind of our motivation and what kind of our heart and what kind of goal or direction do we have? Only just doing some activity, some providential event, and just spending many kind of activity itself or not? Or yet we are having the same heart, which true parents' heart, which first missionary heart, which true mother's heart currently, in order to save one person. Please save one person. Let's save one person. Let's save the nation. Do we have this kind of heart still and currently or not? That's why we are now doing many kind of providential activities to find 40 Christian clergy from Oceania also, and also 43 couples substantialize and witnessing Chombo activity, or there is many kind of target goal and the providential. But before that, what is the root of ourselves, root our nation and root our religion? This is the heart and 심정 of our heavenly parents, our true parents, and our all leaders and missionaries, to love them, invest them, and save them. That's why we can remind again and we can connect those our heavenly parents and true parents' heart. So yesterday we share about the 3-year course right before the holy wedding. So when heavenly parents and when true father was preparing for the holy wedding ceremony, there was also those kind of the foundation to embrace the nation of Korea and also embrace and to connect with the world of providence. So today also let's go the next place. Okay. Heavenly and earthly phoenixes. In the late 1950s, it wasn't easy for a single mother. My mother managed to make ends meet by doing any odd job that came her way. She did not rest even a moment in her devoted life of prayer, and in that way, she triumphed over those hardships and tribulations. One day, however, she announced to her small family, "I've been living meaninglessly. I must live a life of greater value." So that time, Temonim was organizing and leading her family as the single mother. And she devoted everything, but in the same time, she felt something lacking and her life is not yet enough. even offering everything and even became the full time to take care of the family member is not simple things. And even Temonim met the second coming through Father, but always she felt, I'm not enough. I have to do more investment. I have to offer the chance of more and more and more. Then my life become the meaningful. So Temonim, her life always reflect herself and also humble mind and try to offer more, try to support more, try to invest more for heavenly parents and true parents. She left my maternal grandmother and me in the care of my aunt and moved into the Chompadon church and dedicated herself completely to church activities. She chose to take on the most menial of tasks. People would try to dissuade her, but she persuaded such work with a joyful and grateful heart. She had lived a life of devoted faith in North Korea, greater than anyone, but started at the bottom in the Unification Church. So this auntie is Hon Seung-joon's wife, Mr. Hon Seung-joon's wife. So Temonim asked Hon Seung-joon's wife to take care the grandmother Chong Won-mo and also a true mother, and she went to headquarter church and lived there and started to the full-time mission in the soul. So if we see about the Temonim's life of faith, actually her life of faith is already long, from the North Korea New Jesus Church and also Holy Lord Church and inside of Church, and even when she was born, already her life of faith was started for heavenly parents and started for the second coming. She offered everything, she sacrificed everything, and she prepared everything for our second coming. But at the moment, also in the unification movement, she started from bottom and bottom. She don't say, she don't proud anything, just toward our heavenly parents, just toward to our second coming, our true Father, put her chonsong and also offer and sacrifice, and she was so joyful heart and appreciation heart to offer her life. That's why when we see about through the Temonim's life, we can see also Temonim's character, how sincere, how straight forward her character. She overworked herself, however, and her body grew weaker and weaker until she became seriously ill. Luckily, a church member she knew from the inside the church took her in. This person, Mrs. Oh Yeon-chun, was like a sister to her. They lived together in the Noryanjin neighborhood, and as they cared for each other, my mother gradually recovered her health. So even she lost her health and became ill, became sickness, but she continuously invested for her life of faith. So because her life of faith, we can see her life is kind of really the John the Baptist figure of true mother's life, because Temonim put and established her life of faith standard. Those foundations become the supporting and foundation for our true mother. While at nursing school, I attended Chompadong Church every Sunday. One day, when my mother saw me there, she took me to a corner and softly whispered, "Few nights ago, I had a dream that was hard to understand." "What did you dream?" I asked. "There were women from church wearing white holy robes and standing there holding pink flowers," she said. "Then I saw you walking toward Teacher Moon. At that time, we called Father Moon Teacher. All of a sudden, thunder roared and lightning clashed from the sky and struck one spot. There you were, and other women all looked at you enviously. She paused, collecting her thoughts. That's when I woke up. I think it means that something will happen that will shake the world. So True Mother came to Sunday service to the church every Sunday. So that time Temonim called her and talked to her. So that meaning is because Temonim is living in headquarters church and True Mother is living to another houses. That's why they don't meet each other every day. So every Sunday True Mother come to headquarters church. So that moment Temonim share to True Mother about her dream. So Temonim dreamed those kind of dream and she shared. So something happened about True Mother and our teacher Moon and also our member, and even thunder and lightning crash from the sky. So Temonim dreamed those kind of dream. I think so too, I replied. I'm sure it is a prophetic dream, but I don't want to guess more than that. My mother did not imagine that this dream was a revelation from God. I prophesied that her only daughter would be called to become the true mother who would give her life for the world. But I had been thinking constantly about the word sacrifice and had determined to live a life of sacrifice for God. This dream fit with that, and I had a sense of its meaning. So True Mother also replied that I think so too. I'm sure it is prophetic dream, but I don't want to guess more than that. So True Mother could guess something, but True Mother also not try to think more deeper matters. Just think the sacrifice. So in the life, in the environment, and through the people, through the Temonim, there are many kind of happening while there. And also some kind of message is coming continuously to Temonim, to True Mother, but True Mother just empty herself and she prepared and just she focused to think about the sacrifice. In the late autumn of 1959, Father Moon conducted a national missionary workshop at the Chompadon Church, and I participated with my mother. I was on one side of the overcrowded church, busy with the workshop, but could see that on the other side, elder sisters were quietly working on another important matter. A few months earlier, senior grandmothers of deep faith had begun preparations for Father Moon's marriage. They were considering which among the women of the church could be God's choice to be his bride. As I was only a schoolgirl and so much younger than Father Moon, my name would not have come up. So what year of 1959? Totally invest the pioneering for the nationwide. That's why True Father was organizing about the nationwide missionary workshop at the Chompadon Church, and also he was sending the missionary to Japan and USA. So that year was the 1959. So during that kind of period, there is workshop, but beside of that, some special preparation was going on for True Father's wedding ceremony. So that time, how old True Father was? 1959, then around 39 years old. How about the True Mother's age? True Mother's age was 16 years old, just a young high school girl. That's why her name would not have come up on the list that moment. Then one day, one of the sages among the grandmothers sought out Father Moon to tell him about her dream. I saw many flocks of clans flying down from the heavens, she told him, and even though I kept trying to shoot them away, they came and covered Teacher Moon. Father Moon provided no interpretation, so the elder sister continued with confidence. I believe my dream is revealing God's will, that your bride's name will include the Chinese character for Hak. So some member also started to receive the revelation and to see the dream, and that person mentioned, surely your bride has the one Chinese character for Hak. So Hak meaning is clan. So she received those kind of dreams. Shortly after I heard that, my mother told me another revelation she had received in prayer. A phoenix flew down from heaven, and another flew up from the earth to meet it. The phoenix from heaven was Father Moon. It brought to her mind her dream from years before, when she went to Daegu to meet Father Moon, the dream in which a pair of golden dragons bowed down in the direction of Seoul. My mother thought about what all this might mean, and then one morning at dawn she received a heavenly message. She had just taken a cold shower, and it came as she was reciting the pledge prayer. The phoenix descending from heaven represents the true Father, she announced, and the phoenix rising from the earth represents the true Mother. My mother was happy with this understanding, but she continued quietly with the workshop and didn't speak about it. Heavenly Parents prepared everything already, planned everything, and guide the people and guide the environment. That's why when True Father and True Mother received the holy wedding ceremony at the moment, many people received the liberation and many people also prepared. So when we remind and when we see that those story, how heaven is working together and how True Father prepared so much and how True Mother the environment was going on, and Temonim and several person was working for that. So today we share and we learn and also see those story behind of the early preparation time period and also the holy wedding time period. So how much our Heavenly Parents could prepare everything. So when we going our providential period and life course, Heavenly Parents prepared already in front of us, and also plan in front of us and guiding in front of us. Sometimes those environment we could not recognize and could not realize why Heavenly Parents is giving those kind of situation to me and trial to me. But when we overcome and when we realize this one, we could develop more and going to the next step. Heavenly Parents always guide through the people and through the environment and try to let us understand and let us overcome and let us share the blessing to the people. That's why each single moment, what kind of attitude should we have and spend the time and to find the God's will, find the God's plan, accept and to build up to the providence. So our preparation period of holy wedding time, there are many kind of liberation was happened. Many kind of person received the dreams. So we can see how God's plan is going on. I want to save one person. I want to save this nation. Through this heart is connecting together with our Heavenly Parents, and we can create the new era, new history, and new moment. So today we are really learning the new contents again. We put our heart again, and we find our Heavenly Parents' heart, and let's create great day. So thank you for joining everyone to today's morning devotion. Let's offer the victory, happiness to our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. Thank you. Yeah, it's always very inspiring words to, and it's interesting. Last night in the Peace Embassy here, we always have a closing prayer at a closing meeting at 10 p.m. and we use the way of God's will. And the one that we chose was to do with how to gain spiritual children. And it was a very short, simple statement, but it highlights the attitude that we need. And Father was saying is that we must invest utmost sincerity to one person. And that was the statement. And as Reverend Yutaka was saying, that that's how the movement grows. That's how our life of faith grows. Is that total utmost investment for someone else. And that's how everything works. And I reflected about that. It says if we want our marriages to be successful, then we have to invest our utmost sincerity to that one person. If we want our church to grow, we need to have that utmost sincerity, and that's the motivation. Dr. Yong often said that utmost sincerity moves heaven, and that's how we touch the heart of God, because we have to be serious. And the two simple words, utmost, which is the absolute maximum we can do, nothing left. And sincerity is we're truly sincere and honest, and that involves being grateful, and it involves being humble, and it involves being giving without conditions or limitations. The hope is the expectation that that person will accept and join, but we can't control the circumstances. And it reminds me of when I was in America, and I had that utmost sincerity for one person. There was a young boy that I was on Team 21. I went there as one of the crusades, and we were Team 21. And the interesting thing with Team 21, it remained 21. People would leave, but then we would witness, and new people would join, and then we continue traveling. And this one boy I met, he was from a Catholic background, living in Washington, D.C., and he was really inspired, and I invested myself greatly. It was one of the days that I made, we took turns. Sometimes we're fundraising, sometimes we're witnessing. I was in Washington, D.C. witnessing that time. And I was able to bring, interestingly enough, 21 people that day back to listen to an introductory lecture. And he was one that remained to do the workshop, and decided to commit himself to heaven. And and then he was kidnapped by his own family, and I didn't see him again. And I remember going into the prayer room and just crying, how could this happen? How could someone so good be taken away? And I was overcome by. It took me weeks to get over that. That could happen. I tried contacting and all sorts of things, and the parents kept on refusing to let me see or talk. And And then finally, one day as we were leaving to go to the next state, you know, he phoned and said, "Oh, he changed his mind," and I, you know, just felt that sorrow. But that's the heart we need to have, that utmost sincerity, you know, to that one person. Yeah. All right, thank you. I'd like to open it up to who else would like to share. Yes, Tsuneko?
Yeah, I just thought about that the yesterday's reading. That's Reverend Yamada said that many people started it missionary, right? I just taught book again, Mr. Chase, Japanese missionary book. Always I just started to point is Mr. Che's mission, how they started in Japan. That's always inspired me. That's why last night, okay, I read it, and so much hardship. That is also reflect that two parents send him to Japan, right? That time also so much tribulation in two parents in order to send mission in all over the world, right? And then I just my life to also 1975 IOWC team come around from Europe to USA to going around in the world. And then I met one of IOWC team, then joined it. That is, I just started origin of myself to face, started that way. That is also connected to parents, because two parents send to missionary to all over the world, 1975. Then between 1953 to 1975, a church is a foundation to make so much tribulation, and to parent made it in order to do this foundation. And many international people came around and to each Europe and also USA started foundation. That is very, very important to realization to me, to start again, to refresh, to international missionary. That is, I just felt it. 1,800 couple, Father choose it. And actually at that time I joined it, right? 1975, February. That time my church leader was 1,800 couple, said that he was church leader. That's why he didn't maybe chose by mission country, but I think Japanese church leader has to stay maintained to looking after all the member IWC witnessing, but not many left. But anyway, that is a very important to realization myself, to connect with the origin of lineage. It's two parents. That's so much put into heart to witnessing one person. That is a very valuable. Each person has very valuable, and to use great value, it's something I reflect, realize. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, Greg, go ahead.
I'm not sure whether anyone mentioned yesterday, but yeah, the first missionary to Japan came to Australia as an IW. I think it was around 1978, 79. Maybe someone like Janine may remember him. And he came to the Elwood Centre where we used to own the Elwood Centre. And he is very, very charismatic. And I was just quite a young member I just joined in 77. So I remember I asked him, a question, which he answered very well. But yeah, we used to call him Papa Sung Ik Che. I don't know, it's a different name, but Sung Ik Che. But he a very inspiring guy. Yeah, he came to Australia.
Okay, thank you. Got a couple of hands just then. One was from Janine and then the other one from Jacinta Moreau. First, Janine, go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't in Elwood at the time when Papa Sun came, but I just wanted to share that yesterday, Liam and I were reading the Chobab and we're reading about, it was just related to pouring out your heart, that Father was in Hungnam prison and he prayed for all the followers that were in Pyongyang, and he wrote a letter to one of the followers that he was concerned about, and he was able to get this letter out through somebody else. Some way he got this letter to one of his followers in Pyongyang. So when he got out of the prison and went to Pyongyang, then he was searching for all the followers, and he went to see this person, and the person gave him back the letter, this really heartfelt letter that Father had written to try to reach out to him. And he gave the letter back to Father and said that you're a heretic and I don't want to know you. And then Father remembered that he was remembering that he had a dream about him when he was in Hungnam prison, in the dream he came to Father and said, I'm leaving you now. And maybe that's why Father tried to get this letter to him. Anyway, it was just really heartbreaking to think that Father was he said if something about like the Messiah shouldn't go to prison, shouldn't be in prison. Anyway, I really felt Father's heart that he poured out his heart to this man and even tried to reach out to him, being Father's in prison, and he's trying to reach out to him to try to to save him. And then when Father went to Pyongyang, rather than to going to his own family, his own parents, he went to Pyongyang to try to reach out to his followers. That it must have been heartbreaking to receive this note back. And Father said he remembered reading this note before I can't remember what he did with it, but anyway, it was just a really, really heart-wrenching story about Father's situation. But he poured his heart out,
Thank you. Okay, Jacinta, go ahead. Your sound's on, it's okay. Is there something you need help with, or? Yeah, no.
I think she didn't get it that you wanted to talk. So,
Yeah.
does she know you wanted to talk?
Jacinta Moreau, you put your hand up, you wanted to speak? Or something you're not hearing? My computer just froze. I see. She just texted me saying your computer. The thing is, we can see you. It doesn't look like it's frozen, and we can hear you. You just start talking. No? It's like you might be texting here. I can't. You are already unmuted. Just start talking.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, well, I still see unmute on my screen, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe someone doesn't want me to share this. Yeah, actually, I was going to talk about my husband's spiritual father. A lot of you know him probably better than I do, Jean-Yves Poganek. He was sent as a missionary to New Caledonia at the end of 1992 and 1980.
Wow. Now it looks like it froze and disappeared altogether now.
She could phone you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while I try to find out what happened to her, but if someone else wants to go ahead. Yeah, Randall, go ahead.
As far as some of the early things in the church, I don't know if you can see this picture clearly. This was from the booklet of the Little Angels when they came to visit for the anniversary of the Korean War. This is Gough Whitlam that was being visited in 1973. So that was one of the early things as well. There was a lot of different activities there. Also, at one stage with the chatting that I was doing with people on different groups where ex-members had been talking, I went to, when I went to Father Sungpa, a member came up to me and says, "You're Randall." I said, "Yeah," and says, "I'm Arnold." And I said, "Yeah, he was an ex-member who just saw that I had been speaking to, to be able to get, still reinforced to people that had been members before, and just not judgmental and things like this. And he said, "Yeah, I rejoined," and that was largely because of some of the things that I had been saying. One thing that someone told me when I was in the New Yorker, he was an ex-member who joined, and he said, "People that leave, they don't really leave. They've still got the heart there." And a lot of the sites that have ex-members there, what are they still doing around 10, 20 years later, unless there's something really artistic that pulled them? So there's a lot of heart there for the people that had joined before. I think I heard a quote from Father one time saying that we are in a spiritual war, that it's a real battle to be able to be part of the church. And it was like Centre Life and such clashing together with Cain Abel type of personalities that were going on. And in a war, you can expect casualties. And the attitude towards these people that fell away from the church, the attitude should be that of like a fallen soldier from wartime. And these guys we look to as heroes. So the members that have left as well, shouldn't just be like, oh, they failed, but rather they were heroes. They were, you know, the ones that really took on the, you know, the suffering of the church at that time, and you know, the just the evidence that they are still, you know, talking about being a member from, you know, eons ago, from the 70s even, shows that there's still a lot of heart, you know, contact with people. Fantastic. There aren't all that many that still call us Moonies, but ministers, maybe some of those. And yeah, I do have some ministers through the Geelong Interfaith Network that I've been, you know, in contact with since 2007. So I heard that there were 40 clergy that are needed in Australia. So yeah, please give me more details about that, and I might be able to help out in some way. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Thank you, Randall. And I saw Mr. Arai had his hand up. Please go ahead, Mr. Arai.
Thank you again today. Such an incredible reading and insight share. And thank you everyone to share. Just I like to say thank you. Fine. I came to Australia 1978, November. Then before us, me, many missionary went to, especially 1975, worldwide. I think before, like today's, you know, explanation about the USA or like Japan, it's an incredible missionary dedication to response, but also especially 1975 after went worldwide, not on short time, and spent many years, more than 20 years. I really respect again today. Then when I came to Australia in 1978, summer, November, I was, you know, arrived to Sydney Airport. Then Carl and Sandy Brown, they welcomed me, and weather was so hot, but I was welcomed very warmly, and I always remember. And already that time, I think today it's you know, few people mentioned, Blake or Junie mentioned already. Australia is before 1975, 1973, already pioneered from Germany and England, and already established. And then after I arrived, I was, you know, in Sydney, the Randwick Church, and everyone was very happy and very bright, and I was there. I could not speak English at all, but I had a very good time, and I could see that it's Junie or Jacinta. I think it's you know, Greg or Scott many, and you know, very brilliant. It's a wonderful and young spirit, and very healthy time, and just everyone is single one. Really, I appreciate Krista. I haven't seen Annette. She gone back, you know, very quickly, and Carl Edmond, and I was really good time. But also they supported as well, and just I stayed 3 months at the Sydney. No, after come to Melbourne and Melbourne Church, and that time it's a really good time. Really appreciate a lot. thereafter go back, I came with my, anyway, just that time is an incredible good time. Thank you for those supported me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. Thank you, everyone. It's time for us to do our 7-minute unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen and then we can begin. All right, so let's offer our unison prayer together. Aju, Aju, Aju. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you next time.
Next time.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day.
Good to see your face, Silvana.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Good to see you.
Bye.
Nah.